Alright guys, today we're going to look at solving quadratics by factoring. So just remember that when you solve a quadratic equation, the right side of your equation has to equal 0. So if you look at our first example, it equals 25. To get it to equal 0, all we need to do is subtract 25 from both sides. Now I'm not subtracting it from 10x, I'm just moving it over. I can't actually subtract it from anything on the left side. I just have to write it down. I'm just going to add negative 25 to the very end, and then it equals 0. Again, I'm not subtracting it from 10x at all. So now that the right side of my equation equals 0, what I need to do is understand that I'm going to break this down into a binomial, because I'm going to factor. 3x squared can only be broken down as 3x and x. I need to look at the factors of negative 25. So the factors of negative 25 are going to be negative 1 and 25, 1 and negative 25, negative 5 and 5. Now, I'm not going to use 25 because that's going to be too large of a number whether I put it inside or if I put it outside. If I put it outside, I'm going to have to multiply it by 3, and that's going to be 75. If I put it inside, it's going to be 25, and it's still going to be too large. I need my middle term to be negative 10. Negative 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to use negative 5 and positive 5. I need my middle term to be negative 10. I know that both of my numbers are going to be 5s. I just have to figure out which one needs to be negative. If I multiply 3 times 5, that gives me 15. I need negative 10, so negative 15 and positive 5 should work. Again, this is negative 15, this is positive 5. If I add those, I get negative 10. So we're good there. This is the correctly factored version of this problem. So now what I need to do is take both of my binomials, which are 3x plus 5 and x minus 5, and set them both equal to 0, and solve. In the first problem, I get x equals negative 5 over 3. In the second, I get x equals positive 5. These are my two answers. In the second example, the right side of my equation already equals 0, so I'm good to go. I'm going to go ahead and break apart my trinomial into two binomials and set it equal to 0. 5v squared can only be broken down as 5v and v. Now I need to look at the factors of 8. The factors of 8 are 1 and 8 and 2 and 4. I need to choose one pair to plug in to get positive 41. Well, if I'm looking for positive 41, I know that's a larger number. I know 5 times 8 is 40, and that's really close. So let's try this. Since 5 times 8 is 40, I'm going to put 8 on the outside, and I'm going to leave 1 to be on the inside. Both of these numbers are positive, so I'm going to put addition signs. 5 times 8 is 40. 1 times v is 1, so 1v. So I have 41v, so I know I'm in the right order. I'm going to take my binomials and set them both equal to 0. When I solve, I end up with v equals negative 1 over 5. And v equals negative 8. In my last example, 5n squared plus 31n plus 34, it equals 4. So to change that, I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. I need the right side of my equation to equal 0. Since 34 and 4 are like terms, I'm actually going to subtract here, end up with 30, and it equals 0. going to break apart my trinomial. 5n squared can be broken down as 5n and n. I'm going to look at the factors of 30. The factors of 30 are 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, and 5 and 6. I need my middle term is 31, so I need a pair that's going to get me close to 31. Well, I know that I'm going to need to multiply this 5 by a number out here. And if I look, I have 5 and 6. 6 times 5 is 30. I know that that's super close. So if I put 5 in the middle, maybe that'll get me where I need to be. Since this is 30, but this is 5n. And that would get me 35n. So I know that this isn't going to work. Even though 6 was very close, it got us very close to 30. Or very close to 31. It got us to 30. It just wasn't the correct combination of numbers. So let's try again. Well, I know that I could try 5 times 2 would get me 10, and 15 would get me 25 if I add those together. But that's not quite close enough. If I tried 2 and 15, that would be 75, which is going to be too large. And like I said, if I tried 15 and 2, this would get me 10 and 15, which is 25. Again, not quite there. So those numbers won't work either. If I try 3 and 10, this is 3, and this is 50, which would be 53. So now my last option to try